Again, if you also flexibility, Danielle is remarkable at balancing the structure of the schooling system, as well as being flexible to accommodate the family and the child's individual needs. So
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private and independent schools to bring you insights into school programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administration. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
Sure. I came to learn about Aurora Alternative through Learning Pods. Actually, a very close friend of mine was interested in enrolling her son who was ready to go into grade 1. And she had asked me to attend the orientation interview with Danielle. I knew for myself personally that my daughter, who is actually 4 years old at the moment, I always knew that I wanted to go the alternative educational route for her. So we went with Danielle. First of all, I visited her website. And when I looked at what the school's philosophies were in terms of the intentions and core values around nurturing the child in a holistic manner, educating the child, in a holistic manner, that is taking into account a very personalized approach, preserving the child's unique expression and identity. Straight away, this resonated with me 100%. My daughter has not had any experience in the public system education, but I have a few friends whose children were in the public system, and I would always hear stories from them how frustrated they felt and concerned at times because they didn't feel that they could have input in the child's learning process or have decisions that would shape the child's educational path in a manner that was in alignment with their personal values. So the parents felt frustration and concern. And I just knew that I always wanted to be involved in Zara's learning experience and supportive to that. And Danielle absolutely reassured me. As soon as we went for the orientation interview, she was so warm and open and down to earth. This is a new initiative with the school, excuse me. And she was very honest about not having all the perfect answers to how the school would develop, how the experiences of the children and would be. She had her core values. She has a wealth of experience, both as a teacher as well as her training. She's also she worked for Toronto District School Board, but also she has training in alternative education philosophies. One of the philosophies that intrigued me, excuse me, was Waldorf education. So she has training in alternative philosophies, and so this right away I wanted to try it for my daughter to see if and my family to see if this would be a good fit, and I'm so glad that I did. Okay, so this is what has been so amazing for me to experience. First of all, the classroom environment, it's a mixed age group class. So when Zara went in, she was the youngest. She actually started when she was 3 years old, excuse me, and the oldest is 11 years old, the oldest child. I was a little bit curious about how that dynamic would work out. Right. Also, because Zara had never even been to daycare, no structured learning environment. So she was going in fresh. Also, my daughter's extremely spirited, sporty, energetic, needs to move around a lot. Very, how does Danielle put it? She's very relational. She's friendly. She wants to really be expressive and talk and hug. And so coming into the environment, first of all, Danielle was so accommodating with Zara's need to sometimes step out of the classroom and run around outside in the backyard to regulate her nervous system so that she could come back into class and be more centered and focused. You know, some children are not able to just sit constantly and be still and be very effective at learning. So I appreciate so much that Zara was able to do this, to have exit time whenever she needed for a few minutes and then come back and be settled and open to learning. That was fantastic. Another thing is the mixed age group is such a phenomenal container for younger children, because Zara, her maturity, her emotional and social maturity has skyrocketed in the time that she's been there. Not just that, even academically, she is very motivated to self-learn, because she sees the older children when they have, for example, math time or writing time or reading time. She wants to participate now and really emulate the older kids. She's 4 years old now. She, you know, she's literally teaching herself to read. It's incredible. She's able to write her alphabet, spell her name, sound words. And most of this is self-led learning, just by being in an environment that is inspirational and supported by the example of other children. I feel as though Danielle is a teacher, of course, who provides instruction and guidance, but a lot of the way the children learn in this group is very self-led learning. They're encouraged by the way the environment is set up, as well as the learning method. You can see that it's really effective by looking at how the younger ones in the group are really learning. You know, these children, my daughter is flourishing. She's happy. She's excited to go to school. She told me the other day that she wants to go to school 110 days in the week. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's been amazing for her. Because she didn't have any, she hadn't been to daycare. She was at home with me and we went straight into Aurora School. Danielle was so flexible, allowing me to attend with her, just to make sure that she felt supported and comfortable in the environment. And that was so extremely, we were so grateful for that, because it has allowed her to transition into the school, into the routine, really without much hiccup at all. You know, she's fluid, she's happy. And as for me too, my attendance there has brought so much enrichment to experience an alternative schooling system for the first time personally. So I'm also unlearning through her learning in this alternative environment, but it is so enriching, and the relationships that form between the students with each other, as well as, I would say, the faculty. In fact, I'm around so often that I've sort of become the voluntary teacher's assistant. So whenever Danielle needs extra hands, or if we go on outings, I'm always there. So I have an insider's perspective, as well as the part of the parental community perspective. And it's really such a beautiful, I want to say it's a family. But it's more than that. It's just a holistic experience on every level. It's lovely. Rather than, I would not so much surprises, but again, this was my first experience of an alternative educational system or environment. And for me to see how children can learn in a way that is self-motivated and basically without stress. Do you understand what I mean? Like they are thriving in a supported environment that provides the right amount of challenge and support. So, for example, Danielle, I would say her greatest forte is her emotional connection with the children. She genuinely cares and loves these children, and she knows every single one of her students, their strengths, their challenges, as well as she understands how to support children throughout the day in their learning process. So it's not just about the academics, right? Although that is provided, of course. But for example, if a child is having a little bit of an upset or didn't sleep well the night before, Danielle provides a supportive environment where the child might need to lie down for a little while with a cozy blanket and just recalibrate themselves. Or we have some instances where children have, what is it called? Sensory sensitivities. So maybe if the lights need to be down a little bit, or the sound, just, the noise come down a little bit. Sometimes we have music, gentle music playing in the background. It can come down a little bit. Anything, Danielle makes the environment compatible for the children's personal and collective experience. She has a way of being able to balance the personal and the collective experience to produce a harmonious environment. And the children are thriving, Children can be happy and comfortable and be learning. The individuality of each of the children is something that we respect and honor and encourage, and that we all have different strengths in our learning abilities, and that no matter where you are, what level you are, it's almost as though community in the class, the foundations of learning, first of all, how to relate as human beings as we're learning in the school environment. This is something that's really encouraged. So respectful, cooperative dynamics. When the children play, I'll give you a perfect example. Danielle, sometimes the children will ask each other, can I play with you, or can I? And Danielle says this is equivalent to a swear word at the school. You don't need to ask, can I play? You play. You are included. You are welcome. It's integrated. Do you understand what I mean? Whether they are 4-year-olds playing with 11-year-olds, and there seems to be a wonderful cooperation that is encouraged. And the temperaments of the children are very different. But it's remarkable for me to see that difference can be complementary, and it can be accommodated without always being conflicting. That's not to say there aren't ever conflicts between the children. There are, but those are quickly turned into learning opportunities where literally Danielle will sit down and have a discussion with the children about teaching them about relational skills, listening skills, empathy, the importance of these skills to be successful in life, not just your academic or intellectual strength. You understand what I mean? It really is, it's a holistic educational experience from the individuals, preparing them or supporting them to be part of a community and society where the values are, I want to say, quite altruistic, where we use our gifts and our talents with a broader perspective of how we fit into society and how we can, whether it's fundraising or designing art to be part of a fundraising drive the children will be working on for charity. It really, yeah, it's yeah, that's it.
Oh,
These
okay.
values of Yes, I would say that the families, some of I would say the core values of the families that are part of the school at the moment um, are all wanting a more holistic educational experience for their children, where they're not just receiving academic instruction, but where again their individual personalities and temperaments are being honored and being supported in the learning process. So it's almost like a tailored, each child's experience is different at the school. And because the class is smaller, Danielle is able to facilitate flexibility and adapt the learning experience of children to a degree that produces balance and an effective learning outcomes for each child. So there's that. And again, the flexibility. Also, Danielle is very open to collaboration with the parents, open to feedback and suggestion. It's not so much a schooling system where the hierarchy is just from the top down. Collaboration, even though, pardon me, Danielle is the principal and she's the teacher, but she doesn't run the educational experience in a dictatorial way. You know, it's my way, just this way. She very much encourages the parents to talk to her and to, yeah, bring these suggestions forward, their recommendations. And so we're involved. The parents are very involved. And I feel like this is part of the core values of the families that are drawn to this experience at the school. They want to be hands-on with their children's learning experience. And yeah, and community, excuse me, we all are quite supportive in the family. So for example, even if a parent is running a bit late and they're not able to pick their child up at 3 o'clock, they might shoot off a message in the WhatsApp group that we have for the parents of the children, and one of the parents will step up and say, I'll take your kid home and you can pick them up later when it's possible. Or it's very supportive, loving, and we are interactive with one another. She is proud that, so teaching her to be more structured in the school setting. So for example, Danielle has this rule where we take responsibility for our environment. It's part of caring, right? So when the children are finished playing with a learning tool or a toy, they have to put that away, pack it away before they take out new toys. Now, when Zara joined at 3 years old, you can imagine the tornado of a whirlwind that was. New toys, wanting to play with everything and leaving everything around. She is learned now to be a big girl and pack the toys away, put them away, often now without even being asked to do so, to take responsibility for that and then take a new toy. So emulating the behavior of the big kids. She's so proud to do that. Do you understand what I mean? Like, and not having to be told. She would come home or say to me, Mama, look, I packed all the toys away and I did it so neatly. I'm a big girl now, just feeling a sense of competency and that she can be trusted to do things. And when she does things effectively, she's really praised. Danielle makes a big effort to express gratitude, appreciation for the children, their effort, and just who they are too. She'll always tell them, you're wonderful, you're great, you are kind, you are, she's very, I wouldn't even say the word is complimentary, but she praises, she loves to praise the children in the smallest thing to the greatest thing. And this motivates self-esteem also in the children. And yeah, so my daughter's, her self-esteem is huge. Her competency is growing. Yes, her communication also, she's very, communicative, verbal. And she's coming home and telling us about keeping us trendy, about the latest Super Mario games and these characters, and we don't know anything about this, but we feel that Zara is educating us at home from her experience of being with the kids at school. So we're keeping up with the times due to her. Yeah. If you are a person who feels drawn to more holistic practices in terms of raising and educating a child to be a whole human, that the emotional, psychological, social, all the components of what make us a human being, to support the child's growth in that direction. This is absolutely a school opportunity worth the try, worth the experience, to see if it fits for you. What I would say is, if you're going to embark on this alternative journey, it will to be open and flexible to a re-education as the parent of your own mind and your own heart and your own soul. Because what tends to happen is, as the children are growing and the dynamics are happening, we have to become flexible too. We have to shift certain paradigms, particularly if you were like me and not coming from an alternative background already. So the children, I really believe this is an environment that is preparing children for a very different future than what we are living now, a very different time. And they are being supported to be really empowered in themselves, to become self-aware very young, to be equipped with tools of how to relate effectively, how to communicate effectively, how to be interested in learning, and to take responsibility and initiative for the experience of learning in life. So it's producing self-starters, confident children, leaders really, but at the same time within different temperaments. So you might have very extroverted children or very introverted children, or somewhere in the middle. And this is a very inclusive environment of all of that. Again, if you also flexibility, Danielle is remarkable at balancing the structure of the schooling system, as well as being flexible to accommodate the family and the child's individual needs. So there's a wonderful supportive feeling to being part of the school, as for your child, as well as a parent involved. Absolutely worth the adventure. Yeah.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.